Today, I'm going to be taking out my mini twists while discussing the ins and outs of natural hair, at least for myself. I'm not a natural hair Nazi, just getting that out there. But these are things that I have just learned throughout the years. I have been natural now for 10 years. I've done several big chops. I feel like the camera's trying to make them look cuter than what they are, but grab a beverage. We're gonna be here for a while. My beverage of choice is a Goya. Little ASMR action. So, things that I will be using is not on my watch. I use this for every protective style takedown. I'm gonna be using a spray bottle with it had some old leave-in conditioner in it, so I thought I would just leave it in there. And then I use filtered water now whenever I'm spraying my hair. Apparently it just helps with mineral buildup in the hair. And then any old towel. I like to use like a towel to like wipe my hands off, but I don't want to use my good towels, okay? Not my Martha Stewart towels, okay? Do you guys want to be closer? I feel like you do. But I'm gonna assume that you're subscribed and you have your notification bells on for whenever I upload a video. And if not, what are you doing? That's the real question. So this one is gonna be controversial. It might ruffle a few feathers. Like I said, these are things that have worked for me. I've been natural for 10 years, and these are just things that I have noticed throughout time. So the first thing is wash and goes are out. At least for this season. I used to be a wash and go queen. Like, I'm talking all I would wear is wash and goes and then, you know, get my braids in the summertime. You know, I think that it was working out great until it wasn't. The first thing is the name, wash and go. But where was I washing and going? I was washing, styling, and going the next day. Like, it was not as wash and go as it seems. At least for me and my hair pattern. I think I was just doing so much to my hair to get it to look a certain way that it turned into something that the name is not supposed to be. I just feel like it was too much manipulation on a 5 to 7 day basis. And with me now at bra strap length, I am trying to grow my hair. I want to get to waist length. With that amount of manipulation every 5 to 7 days, because for me, let me break it down for you guys. I was literally shampoo, deep condition. The deep condition, I would deep condition for an hour. So we're already at 2 hours. Then I would get into the styling. I would use the strongest hold Eco Styler gel on the planet, which is the crystal. And that would take me another hour. So we're at 3 hours. Then you get into the blow drying section. So before I used to sit under the hooded dryer for like an hour and a half, which is like frying the mess out of your hair. Like, even though you're not getting heat damage, like you're not ruining your curl pattern, but oh my gosh, like the amount of breakage I had right here, because the blow dryer is like blowing right on the crown of your hair for an hour and a half. My hair was so broken off at the crown and it's just not recovering. That would take an hour and a half. So now we're at what? I said 4.5 hours to get it dry, and then I would still band it. I would stretch it with the blow dryer as well. So now that's another 40 minutes. We're at like 5+ hours. And to me, for the title being wash and go, it was a wash and no for me.
Definitely a no for me, dog. The voice is just not there.
With the wash and goes, I was saying that they were not very moisturizing. So when you think about it, I was sitting under a hooded dryer for a smooth hour and a half. When I first went natural, I would air dry my wash and goes, but as my hair gets longer, I don't like that. I don't like that feeling of wet hair on myself. You know, sitting under the dryer, like all that leave-in and moisture you just put in your hair, it's no longer effective anymore. Like your hair is dry now. After you sit under the dryer for an hour and a half, then you band it with more heat, and then you're putting this hard gel. Like my hair was dry. It would be dry by like day 3, but I would keep the wash and go for a whole week and wonder why I'm having to trim more often, because my ends are dry as a Sahara desert. What was my last straw with wash and goes for this season? I tried doing a wash and go for a business trip. Now, I work from home and a lot of my team is in a whole nother state. We had our first in-person conference back in October. It's now July, so like, I don't know, almost a year ago. And this is the first time I'm meeting any of my coworkers in person. And yeah, my boss is African American, but besides that, like, there's not many Black people that work there. And tried out this Eco Styler mousse combo. I knew I was gonna get flakes when I got to the airport. I looked in that mirror and my hair was as gray as this wall right here. It was gray. Met my boss. I'm like feeling so insecure because I know my hair is starting to flake. And by the time it was the next day for the actual like conference to start, and I'm meeting like all of my coworkers that I'm teamsing and chatting throughout the year and working on projects together with, my hair is flaking. Like, I'm talking about I have to keep wiping off, and I'm wearing black. Like, I'm wearing black. It was just a nightmare. The last thing I'll say about wash and goes, and then we can move on to the next thing, single strand knots. So my hair type is type 4, or I would say it's 4A and 4B, and it is naturally fine textured. Okay, that is a recipe for single strand knots. Like, do you hear me? It is a recipe for single strand knots. With the wash and goes, I felt like no matter what I did, like I could have trimmed yesterday, did a wash and go, went to wash my hair the next week. They're all back. Like, they're literally all back. And I was just like so tired of that. Like, I would have to trim so much more frequently because of the single strand knots. I'm trying to grow my hair to waist length, and that's not gonna happen if I have to trim my hair every single month. Now, since I've stopped the wash and goes, and now I'm doing twist styles, mini twists, like more stretched styles. Like, if you watch my last video, which was me straightening my hair and doing a trim, my hair still looked very, very good at 3 months. Like, there was not a lot of single strand knots. I'm always gonna get a few, like, that just comes with a part of being a natural, but it is nowhere near as many as I was getting before. The next thing that I am no longer doing with my natural hair to help grow it out is deep conditioning past an hour, or what the bottle says. So for instance, if I'm using AphaG 2-minute reconstructor, I'm not going to use that for an hour. I've done that. I've gotten protein overload and I've had to correct that so many times. Or this is another thing that I see a lot of people doing, and I've tried it, and for me, it gave me scalp issues. And I don't have scalp issues, people. Deep conditioning overnight. The scalp is not meant to be trapped in a moisture greenhouse effect overnight. Like, when I tell you I did that like a couple weeks ago, because I was like, ooh, I'm really about to like get this deep condition on before I straighten my hair. Y'all, when I tell you, my hair itched for like a good 3 weeks. Even after I shampooed again, did all the things, my scalp had problems. I started having flaking. I do not struggle with flaking. And I think that that is such a huge issue because it's just like, your hair is not meant to be wet for long amounts of time. And that can also lead to hydro fatigue, which is when the hair has too much moisture in it, and that can cause the hair to be mushy and break off. Or if you do it with a protein one, and oh my goodness, I've done this before in college. I did egg in mayonnaise.
Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
When I tell y'all, my hair looked like straw and hay. Thank goodness my hair wasn't it was a TWA, because if it was long, I would have lost a lot of length. Now I don't go past an hour, and if it's a protein treatment, if it says 10 minutes, I'm leaving it in 10 minutes. With moisture, deep conditioners, you can get away with doing them a little bit longer, like an hour. So you want to sit under the dryer and just like watch a movie and relax. But girl, don't push your luck doing no overnight. All right, I'm back. I finished this whole quadrant back here and put it into 2 twists, and I'm moving into the front. So let's get into the next one. This is definitely going to be an out for me, and that is going to be trimming my hair wet or in its curly state. Anytime I would see something, I would just cut it off. I'd say into 2022, my hair had got really, really long. It was past bra strap length, And I was like, girl, like I should go get my first professional trim. And I was like, I know that my hair's about to look so, so good. No. The reason why my hair was just an absolute disaster was because she said, trimming your hair wet, you can't see where the damage is. How many of us know your hair curly and loose and big, it looks so, so healthy. And then when you blow it out, or even sometimes straighten it, your hair is like, whoa, like there's like a see-through spot right there. There's a ton of knots right here. And that was the issue for me. About half of the shaft of my hair was thin, knots up the shaft, and it was just so terrible. And so that's something that I don't really do anymore. And I know there's a lot of controversy behind that because people are like, well, if you wear your hair curly, then you should trim it curly. And I just feel like I don't just wear my hair curly. I blow it out. I want to start straightening it at least once a year. So for me, that just doesn't work for me. Even when I was only wearing my hair curly, not doing anything to it, I would get the best shape blowing my hair out to trim it. And it would stay that way versus if you style your hair in a wash and go and you trim it, okay, next time that shape might look a little bit different. I want a precise, clean cut. Thank you. Twist outs are an in for me. Like I said before, I was wash and go queen. I would do them every 5 to 7 days. And you know, I was burning out. I was burning out because like I said, it was just so many different steps. Now with a twist out, all you have to do is style your hair. I let it air dry overnight. Like I put my little bonnet on, let it air dry overnight, and then I wake up in the morning and then I'll take the blow dryer and elongate it with a little bit of heat protectant. But yeah, it's just shampoo, condition, twist it up, and I don't do super, super small twists either. So an in for my hair is embracing it however it turns out. My out is being mad at my hair if it turns out poofy. 2 months ago when we were moving and everything, I had bought some new products and I was using the Honey Hydrate leave-in conditioner by Camille Rose, and I really like how my hair feels with it. But if you use that, you kind of know that your hair is not, it has glycerin as the first ingredients in it. So you're not going to get like the craziest stronghold definition. And I didn't realize that at the time. So when I took my hair out and I was styling it, stretching it with the blow dryer, it was just boop, 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 boop. It was just getting so big and fluffy. And it still had a little bit of definition on the ends, but it was not like my usual Almond Joy Butter Twist Out by Camille Rose. When I had that twist out, I got so many compliments. In compliments, I'm not saying that I'm seeking external validation. That's not what we're doing here. To define our worth is how many compliments we get. But I will say this, I got so many compliments. I'm talking, my husband always compliments my hair, but he was just like, oh my goodness, your hair looks so good. He was all over me. People were stopping me. Girl, what did you do to your hair? I don't know, like people, it was just like all the time. Like people were just like, oh my gosh, your hair is so voluminous and big. And I think just like embracing volume over definition has definitely boosted my self-esteem because naturally my hair is puffy. Like I'm natural. I have a fro. Like my hair is curly. An issue that I was finding before with the wash and goes, so maybe I will go back to them one day, who knows. But what I was finding is that I was chasing definition over volume. Yes, my hair does have a defined curl pattern, but I was just overemphasizing it and stressing it, and if it didn't turn out right, I would be so upset. And it's just like, why girl, like your hair is beautiful either way. And I feel like that has just kind of cut down on the amount of manipulation that I've been doing with my hair, because I would have never done mini twists on wet hair. I would always had to blow my hair out really, really well and then twist it up. I would never ever do mini twists on wet hair. And the reason for that is because I didn't want it to look frizzy. But as a fine-haired girly, sometimes my hair, it looks more voluminous in twists. If you don't want that boneless look with your mini twists, try doing it on wet hair because it just gives the hair more ability to expand. Your natural texture comes through and you're not putting any heat in it. Heat's not bad, but if you're doing a protective style, you know, why not take out as many things as you can? All right, guys, so I finished taking out my mini twist. It took about 5 hours, I would say, which is quite a long time. But if you made it this far into the video, be sure to list your ins and outs and what you've learned along your natural hair journey in the comment section below, so maybe it could help me out or a fellow friend on the internet. And until next time, see you guys. Bye.